Hey guys, we're going to look at grades and teacher feedback. And a few things that we're going to talk about are where to find it, what you can see when you're looking at your grades and your feedback, how often you should check it, and why it's important to look at it. All right, so let's start with where to find it. So if you're in a class, you're going to have these tabs here on the left-hand side, and you're going to see grades. So we do all of our work. We submit everything in Canvas. Majority of what we do is in Canvas, and we're going to tell you to check your grades in Canvas as well. Even though your grades will be in PowerSchool eventually, Canvas and PowerSchool doesn't sync continuously, so the PowerSchool is not always the most up-to-date or accurate place to find your grades. So since you're submitting work, teachers are grading work, everything's done in Canvas. The best place to check your grade is in Canvas. So let's click on grade. I've got this in student view, and we're just going to look at a test student here. Okay, so if you're clicking on one of your classes, you're going to see your name pop up here. For whichever class you have, you're going to see your assignments down through the middle of the page here. All right, so you can see on the first assignment here, there is a score of 24 out of 30. And if you come over here, you're going to see a place where you can see a comment. So I'm going to click on this, and this is where teachers leave comments for students. All right, so this says for number 1, 18.5 does not pair with 1 from the table. Make sure you look at the table again. You do have the average rate of change formula correct, but you're using the wrong Y value. Number 2 is incorrect. You need to find the 2 ordered pairs first and then use the same formula as number 1. All right, so this may not make sense to you, but if you were working on this assignment and you're looking at the assignment and I left this for you, you're probably going to be able to go back and make corrections and submit that for a better grade. But if you don't look at the comments, you wouldn't know that's there, okay? Also, if you do not submit something by the due date, it's going to show up as missing and it's going to give you a 0, okay? So if you submit it before the due date, it will not show missing, but after the due date, it shows missing. And you can see here, it also indicates if you turned in something late as well. So this one was turned in late. All right, so this one here has another little symbol here, and this is for a rubric. So for notes, it says rubric, so I'm going to click on that, and I can go down through here and you can see that I got 0 points for each of these. Okay, and again, this is just a test student, so I was just showing you how to look at this. If this is a rubric in your class, you could see if you didn't get full points for organization, go back and read this and see what you need to do to figure out how to get the full amount of points. All right, so very specific information here, a lot of good detail for you if you use it. All right, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, all right, so if it's not due yet, it's not going to have a missing or a grade. So these are all upcoming assignments for this class, which again, this is just a test student. But if you come down here to the bottom, it's going to show you how many points are in this category and how many points you have earned. So again, I was just playing with some of these to show. This test student has 0.93%, so less than 1% of a grade, so not too good. But you need to know what the percentages are so you know what are your most important things. So if you come up here and look, it's going to have weekly practice. In this class is 15%, notes is 10%, quiz is 15%, explain material 10%, test 25%, discussion and digital assignments is 10%. And you may say, well, why is it 85%? Because the midterm is not showing up here. Okay, if I go over here and I click on Q1, and hit apply here, it's going to show 100%. So because we're not to the end of the semester and there's no grade there, it doesn't show, but 85% currently. All right, and that's what you need to know for grades and feedback on where to find it. All right, how often do you need to check your grades and your feedback? That's up to the individual. Some people like to check it often, some people not as much. We highly recommend you check it at least once a week. That way, if something says missing and you're like, oh, I thought I turned that in, maybe you've completed this assignment and you just need to get it turned in before the due date. So checking your grades at least once a week can help prevent you from having missing assignments just because you accidentally forgot to turn something in. Also, if you check and you have feedback, you can ask your teacher, maybe you can resubmit assignment for a better grade. If you try to resubmit something and you don't do anything to fix what you did miss the first time, you're not going to get a different grade. So it's going to be the same or very similar. So the feedback is one way to help you figure out what you did wrong. It's probably a good idea to go back and look at your notes, maybe watch a video, whatever you need to do to understand that. Reach out to your teacher during office hours, but use that information to submit that. So grades are a great place to kind of stay on track. If you don't think about your grades until the end of the 9 weeks, then you're not going to know if you're behind or if you're on track or whatever. And then it creates like a little bit of a panic if you're not where you thought you were. Okay, so don't just assume everything's going smoothly. Hopefully you're doing everything right, but it doesn't hurt to check to just make sure that you haven't forgot something because, we all forget stuff from time to time. And that's kind of our thoughts on grades and comments, why it's important, and how often you should look at it. So if you have any questions, please let us know.